What is up, everyone? Today we are going to be looking at the Lost Origins set list. I already did a set review yesterday, so check that video out if you would like to. But today we're going to do my buy list video, and there's not much I actually want to buy from this set if I am competing. So I'm going to kind of just walk and talk you guys through this one as we go. Okay, well, if you're going to buy stuff also, my TCG player link is in the description below. It doesn't do anything for you discount-wise, but it does help me and the channel out. So check that out and use it if you guys will if you're buying for Lost Origin. The first Lost Origins regionals is Peoria, Illinois, which is at the end of the month, the 1st of October, I guess. And then the second regionals will be in Salt Lake City, Utah, and then I think we're chilling until LAIC, and then Incandescent Arcana, Silver Tempest, whatever the English set is called, hits, and then, yeah, so this is going to be a small block that we have, and here's kind of the cards that I will be purchasing personally. We're scrolling immediately. You can tell as we're going that there's not much I actually want to pick up from this set. I'm going to be starting off with a probably 3/3 Kyurem VMAX line, because I think this Kyurem VMAX can be its own deck, can be an attacker. I think a majority of the time I'm probably playing like a 1/1 or maybe a 2/2 and like a support engine, because I don't think it's actually that good enough to like play as a main attacker over something like Ice Rider or Palkia, which are both in the format currently, and it also gives up 3 prizes. But I think buying a 3/3 ensures that if I want to play it as a main attacker, I'll have the line for it. So if you are a minimalist and think that you are never going to play this as an attacker, a 2/2 line is completely fine. And then you can just say, hey, I'm going to buy a third when I need it, which is completely fine. I'm going to be buying probably a playset of Cramorant because it's a uncommon, I believe, right? Yeah, it's an uncommon, and I think this card can be played in almost any Lost Zone archetype. I don't think we're ever playing more than 1, maybe 2. But I think it's fine to just buy a playset because it's an uncommon, so I'll be picking up a playset here. I personally believe that Magnezone is really good, so I'm picking up a 3/3 line of this, just because I think this will be one of the cheaper V-Stars, because I think people are going to overlook it, and I think Magnezone has a ton of potential, and I think with the attack and like the amount of damage you do, the typing, you have to be good at some point into this metagame of Palkia and all these other cards. So I think at some point this Magnezone card will be really good. So I'm picking up a 3/3 line, only if it's cheap. I don't think I'll be playing it anytime soon, but I like it. I'll be picking up a playset of Rotom as well, because I expect Rotom to also be one of the cheaper Vs in the set. Some of these usually Vs that are not like your poster child Vs or V-Stars or whatever, with the amount that are opened in the newer sets, have become cheaper as we go. So that is something to keep an eye out for. Like, I believe that Hisuian Decidueye, before it won the World Championships, was like a 70-cent card, like the V-Star. So something just to keep an eye out for on some of these cheaper cards. I remember buying my playsets at like $1, so like $1 for the V-Star. I mean, maybe $1.50 if that. But the Rotoms should be pretty cheap, and I think there's like a deck that could be born out of the Rotom Porygon toolbox. So that's something to pick up. One of the Radiants. I think I always pick up one of the Radiants just because it doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad. You just want to have it on the off chance that it could be playable one day, because these Radiants are so splashable. Pick up a 2/2 Banette line, maybe a 3/3, but a 2/2 or 3/3 Banette line gets picked up because I think Banette could make its way into these Lost Zone archetype decks, especially single, like some sort of single prize like Get to Your Sableye. I also skipped Sableye and pick up 4 Sableyes. Even though it's a rare, I think there's a world where you can play some sort of single prize Lost Zone centric deck that revolves around getting Sableye into play and just putting a ton of damage counters onto the board very quickly, or like something of that nature, and going into like a Guillotine or something and closing the game. I don't know, but I think there's some sort of potential there, so I will be picking up that from these guys. Playset of Comfy. It's an uncommon as well. This is also one of the best cards in the set, if not the best card in the set, and we'll probably see the most play out of any of the cards you buy. So this is one of those cards that you should be buying a playset of. I'll be buying 4, like I said. I'll be buying a 4/4 Arcanine as well, just because even though it's a holo, I think this deck could have potential, even though it doesn't have the Macargo and the Oranguru like the Granbull deck did. It's just kind of like an homage to the funny deck, and maybe it could be good. So I'm picking that up. And I think I saw some Japanese lists showing it off. I will not be picking up Aerodactyls because I don't think Aerodactyl is actually very playable, despite me talking about it on the in the set review. I think Aerodactyl is not a deck that I will see myself playing, especially because it doesn't have free retreat, so it just becomes an inferior fighting type compared to a lot of things. If I find some sort of weird like Aerodactyl control deck or something with the V-Star attack, maybe, like, but at the current moment I don't plan on picking these up for my buy list. I think a 2/2 Barbaracle, or yeah, I think it's Barbacle, whatever this guy's name is, I would pick up just because this guy's got a really cheesy ability. Also, if you are planning on picking up Aerodactyls, I think 3/3 is fine. But Barbacle is what I'm going to pick up 2/2 this just for the memes, the memes. I'm picking up 2 Drapions. I mean, I think I could see myself realistically playing a 1 of Drapion V index to deal with Mew. I don't know what deck I'd play it in, but I think I could, like, if I'm so worried about Mew, I could just see myself slotting this into whatever I play to have a free matchup as well as like a Rod, and then having the 2 pieces to basically do that, or like play like a Clara or something. Like let's say I'm like playing Urshifu or something in the near future. This guy goes into Urshifu super easily. Yes, he's a terrible starter, but he just one-shots the Mew for you, and you kind of just win the matchup as Urshifu at that point. So something like that, just having that answer is good. I think you buy that every time. 1 of the Radiance a piece, 100%. 4/4 Giratina V-Star. I think buying a 4/4 is correct here because, yes, you're probably only playing a 3/3 in a lot of situations, but I think having a 4/4 gives you the opportunity to play some sort of turbo engine with a 4/4 Giratina and just like Comfees and just lost winning the ones you don't want very aggressively. If you're a minimalist, you can buy a 4/3. I think you need to buy 4 of the baby at the very least because I think 4 Giratina Vs is going to become standard in almost every list. Same thing with the Goodra here. I'm going to buy a 4/3. Very similar idea because I think Goodra can also be played as a main attacker, and it will find itself, I think, flourishing in that nature. So I think both of these guys, I would pick up a 4/3 or 4/4 line. I'd pick up 1 Pidgeotto, or Pidgeot, I guess, whichever one this is, just because in case of control. And then I would pick up a 4/4/1, a 4 Porygon, 4 Porygon 2, 1 Porygon Z, just because I think this is like, yeah, I guess you could play the Porygon Z. This goes with the Rotom as well, by the way. I would pick up a 4/4 Zoroark because I think Zoroark can also be played. Oh, Gengar's up there too somewhere. I would pick up 4 Gengar as well, wherever it is, wherever I passed it. Yeah, 4 Gengar. And then I'd pick up a 4/4 Hisuian Zoroark just because I think the Hisuian Zoroark can also be a really playable card. And I think it's like one of those decks that can happen like out of nowhere. Like I know it's not performing in Japan necessarily right now because Palkia can just kind of beat it. But like maybe it's a deck that if you go first, you can beat Palkia every time. I don't know. I have to experiment with it more. But this is like a maybe. And then 4 of every trainer support a stadium. My logic is always just pick up playsets of these because you never know if they will be playable, and they're all uncommons for the majority. I think there's no rares. Volo, I guess I just wouldn't pick up more than like 2 Volo, I guess, in that situation. But like everything else in this set is an uncommon, so it's like you never know if you're gonna end up playing something with Iskin. You never know if you're gonna end up playing something with Riley or something with Gift Energies. So I would just pick all these up like in 4s, and then I think Gallade V is not one that was like originally in the set. I would pick up if you are trying to make Hisuian Electrode V work. I could see myself picking up 4. I don't personally think I would be making the deck work, so I am not going to be picking up any. But if you are someone who believes in this deck, you can pick up a playset. And then there's Gallade as well, which is one that you can pick up for yourself if you think it's good. I don't think it's good, so I'll not be picking up any. But besides that, I think that's every card. Let's look at the trainer gallery real quick. I don't think there's anything in here that's worth mentioning that we haven't already seen. But yeah, that's I think everything I pick up for the set. It's not actually too many cards. It's actually just like, even though the set is like 240 something cards, I think. I'm just picking up what I think is going to be the best played archetypes. Like everything is still going to be taking a beating to Palkia, but Giratina is going to be very, very strong in the new set. I think personally Giratina is going to be insane. So if you guys enjoy the content, like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and let me know in the set list review what you are planning to buy that I might have missed. So thank you guys so much, and see you guys next video.